Hello, everyone, and welcome back to NACE Union 10. We've got our varsity Valorant tonight, USF Gold, going against Cleveland State University. This is going to be a really good game.
Oh, yeah, I'm super excited. I'm really interested to see how this is going to go for us.
Yeah, absolutely. We have some familiar faces on our roster tonight, so that should be really exciting. We can go into that. Is pretty good in these past few weeks, so should be really exciting stuff. And yeah, just really overall excited for this gameplay. We do have some map information as well coming up here, so we can go right into that as well.
Moving into the pick bans.
Into pick bans here.
Pick bans.
CSU has the first ban here, and they are going to go for Corrode as the first ban.
Interesting. Think about that.
I think we had a little technical flip there.
I think we had a minor
Our
tech
casters 960 by 450 have returned. I think this isn't like too shocking of a ban. Last stream we did kind of tap on like Corrode is a little bit newer into rotation. It's a newer map. So teams have had a little bit less time on it, and it's a little bit more variable, especially for synergy.
Absolutely. I mean, that's just a tough map to play, especially if you're not comfortable on it. Like you said, it just rotated in. So it makes sense that they just want to get rid of that and narrow down the amount of stuff they have to practice on.
Yeah, absolutely. And USF's veto is going to be Pearl. This is not shocking. USF does not really enjoy playing Pearl and is usually our ban. CSU will select Abyss as the first map.
That'll be a fun map to watch for sure. I mean, I haven't seen a ton of gameplay on Abyss since the rework, so it'll be really interesting to see how that kind of affects and how we play around that.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of Abyss in the past few weeks actually here, which is pretty fun because I haven't really played a lot of it.
I love
but
that map.
It is a really fun map, and USF has performed pretty well on it, so this could be a really interesting game. USF select is going to be Split.
Oh yeah, it's a map we're very comfortable on. I casted a game a couple weeks ago where we played Split, and it was beautiful. We did lose, but it was a very interesting match to watch.
Yeah, Split is definitely a comfort pick for USF. Comes out a lot. Pretty much, I think, every stream recently has had Split.
It's definitely up there with Lotus in terms of like, yeah, we want this one, and we're going to have it.
Yeah, absolutely. The next ban from Cleveland State is going to be Breeze. This is a pretty interesting ban. Breeze was just reworked. The rework has been found to be fairly preferable. But there's still, you know, once in a while it'll get banned. And USF has been practicing pretty well on this as well, I've heard.
For sure. And then our last band's going to be Bind and Decider Map Haven. That's actually a pretty good one for USF. I know that's one they're very comfortable on and typically one they actually pick.
Yeah, Haven does usually end up being a pick. Seems like they opted to pick for Split this time, but with Bind being their band, it does just leave Haven there. So we've definitely got some interesting maps here to play from. And they've got, we do have side information as well, which is news to me. For Abyss, USF will be on defense starting off, so they're going to be on the defender side. USF does have some players that can play some pretty defense-sided characters.
No, for sure, absolutely. I mean, that's one thing our boys are pretty good at. It's just like locking it down, playing off one another. So hopefully we'll see a good defense from them, be able to take that advantage early.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll just have to see. I mean, that side slit, like when you switch sides, a half can really change up the game, can really change the pacing and where we end up. For Split, USF will be on attacker side. And for Haven as last, USF will also be on attacker side. It seems like we are getting into game now. Agents being locked in.
Let's see what we have here for Abyss.
Yeah, here we have some picks going on here. We've got, on the side of USF, no, never mind. On the side of CSU, we got a little flipped up there. CSU is going to run Sova, Jet, Waylay, Vito, and Astra.
Opting for that double mobility in terms of duelists. That'll be probably a very aggressive comp, especially with Vito. It seems like they're really going to try to just push this attack half and really make that count. It'll be interesting to see what they can do here. This is definitely, you know, just looking at the comps, it makes sense that CSU, this is probably going to be their easier half, and I would imagine the more impactful of the two. Because obviously playing defense with double duelists is definitely a lot harder.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems like CSU is just trying to get those rounds under their belt super early, just playing super aggressive. They have the 2 duelists for entry, and then they also have the Sova for a lot of that information. So really big information plays. On the side of USF, we've got a comp that's a little bit familiar to us, but Jet coming out, which is a new pick. We've got Jet, Sova, Astra, KO, and Chamber.
Definitely a lot more information on the side of USF with that double initiator comp. Should be hopefully able to help them find CSU earlier in those rounds and set up some proper defensive plays and rotates.
Yeah, it definitely seems like the picks were just to try and get some early rounds here in this first half.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I like the 6-7 tag on the side of CSU. That's very
spectacular.
Funny. Love a sense of humor in these games. But yeah, seems like CSU is gearing up for an A-sided push.
Definitely looks like we're stacking A side with a few possibly defaulting, maybe playing slow towards B.
Yeah, I think possibly A is a little bit easier to play with less range going on. B just has a lot of very wide angles. CSU is going to send someone B just to make some noise, possibly get some intel. CSU is going to start pushing in, throwing some utility.
Scan doesn't catch anyone.
Yeah, nothing from the scan. CSU peeking in a little bit closer, is not going to find too much just yet. About to round the corner, and Astra pops a star here, pulls it back. CSU is going to back up a little bit and change their minds about pushing this. In mid, Vito does not get a lot of information, trying to creep around, trying to catch Hades off guard, but is not going to be able to see him. CSU is going to rotate over to B site. CSU.
Jiggling, finds one, maybe. Or did he slip through?
I think he
Looks
might
like
have
he
slipped through. The slightest timing, but Vito is coming back into mid. Davies going to back up and not see him. Chamber teleports out. Vito takes mid for free here. CSU playing aggressive here. All of that mobility coming out, trying to get onto site. Aquanix and Hades geared up, trying to get some kills here. But do they know what's outside of these smokes? Camino getting a pick onto Davy Gravy. Aquanix getting that pick onto the other Astra. The dart just barely misses Aquanix. They're going to try and get this plant down, and they will be successful. Aquanix gets taken out by CSU's Jet player. Another great pick coming out from Spider here. 3v3, setting this even. Post-plant plays here. Spider's not expecting Sova on that corner. Sova gets 2, and Hades is taken out by Jet.
It's going to be round 1 for CSU. That's definitely a very interesting pistol round from them. I mean, just looking at their comp, you would assume they would just be kind of running it down, you know, throwing out that dart and pushing. But CSU actually opted for a very slow play on pistols. Definitely a unique call. And it worked in their favor. It seems like they're definitely favoring that more slow play, looking for that info. And unfortunately, I mean, that lurk mid was crazy. He just got a diabolical timing on USF.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the slow play kind of worked to break up the expectations that you would get from their comp, and then they could play fast on their own terms. They could push when they wanted to. USF going to play a little bit aggressive to get this orb. Backing out here after hearing the spray from the Bulldog. Shuki takes out Hades super duper early into this round. Camino getting another pick onto Spider.
Working his way up mid again with the Outlaw.
Outlaw is really, really dangerous on these rounds. It can do a lot of damage. CSU is going to try and play fast here. Notes takes out Aquanix really early. Gets them that entry onto site, and they're going to go for that plant. No smokes on the side of USF. They've just got 2 initiators.
Last player standing.
A headshot coming out from Jet and Sova. Just really clean shots altogether, winning the round for CSU.
Some good damage off there from the USF, but no frags, unfortunately. And that honestly puts CSU in a pretty good situation going into this next round with 2 rifles and an Outlaw. Because I don't know if you noticed, but they actually all bought light shields there and opted for higher gun buys, which is definitely potentially going to help them combat this full buy from USF here.
Yeah, absolutely. The econ is definitely in their favor now. They did go for a little bit of a force on the last round, which gave them guns. Pretty big stuff, and then they went into this round, same gun still, didn't really lose anything. USF is in a really tough position with their econ. They had to force up for everything, so losing this round can be really dangerous for the next few. Seems like CSU is gearing up for A once again. Davy Gravy trying to get some information in mid. Hades gets a clean headshot onto YU. He's going to play tight to this corner here, trying to get some information, gets pinged by the drone. is going to try and get spammed by the Sova, gets headshot through the smoke with a spray. Even 4v4.
CSU slowing down in main, looking for maybe some more info.
CSU doesn't want to fully send this entry. They know that both teams are in really tough spots with their econ, so they don't want to lose anything too early here. Sova peeking out here. Star's going down. Spider gets a really clean headshot. Spike is down on the other side of a smoke. USF is in favor to win this round, and Spider takes out Shooky.
What a great round from Vel. Just
yes.
picking up that two-piece. Some great work from the boys there, taking those rifles from CSU.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful headshots coming out right there. Geared up to just watch that smoke and play it safe. Worked out
about as good as it could have gone for USF. I mean, they're all able to full buy here. They kept their rifles, and they managed to break down CSU's buy a little bit. So going into this next round, now they're having to kind of force these full buys and not have as much econ to rely on.
Yeah, definitely. USF's economy is not too bad right now, looking pretty good. This could be a little bit of a comeback for them, the momentum swinging in their favor. Spider's going to run up mid a little bit here, try to reposition, and peek out mid. Camino as well, looking around, up top. There's a smoke there, shielding him from Spider's view.
Looks like he's opting for this mid lurk again.
Yeah, for sure. CSU also playing a little bit slow. Star's going down. Astra just trying to play a little bit in support of Camino, Fito in this mid here. Psyching Spider out a little bit. He's going to miss Vito here. Vito potentially being able to wrap. Vel is caught off guard by Camino. Spider as well, holding for him, but doesn't win that fight.
CSU has a lot of space here up mid. It's a tough situation for USF. They're very split.
Yeah, CSU is going to start playing a little bit more aggressively here. They are in the man advantage. Here they go. Astrostar is getting popped, trying to stall out their push, but Waylay uses that mobility to get into sight. Hades is forced out. Gonna have to play retake with the team. Aquanix gets a really clean pick onto Camino in mid there, gets rid of the mid lurk for CSU, and is gonna wrap to join up with his team. Hades is gonna miss those shots and get taken out by Nos. Aquanix trades it, but exquisitely takes out Aquanix, and YU gets that final kill, winning the round for CSU.
Another slow round of CSU. It seems like they're really not looking to change up this pace. I mean, like I said, despite their comp, it's very like slow, and they're looking for info main. They kind of played a very similar split every round, just stacking towards A and leaving that lurk mid, just letting him take space. I mean, Camino did work that round. Getting 2 mid, even when he was known on the second, was definitely good. He just found that timing, and he's been doing a really great job. It does look like they're switching it up, however, potentially looking for a B rush maybe, trying to change up the pacing.
Yeah, it seems like CSU does have some ults online that may be a little bit better for them to play on B with. They have the Sova ultimate online, which gives them a lot of range and a lot of post-plant capability. And Vito's ult online, which I am honestly still not too sure exactly what it does. But CSU is going to rush onto B site. Aquanix alone on site here, hiding in a smoke, takes out one, gets traded out by YU. Davy Gravy gets that trade. Davy Gravy is going to back up and try to wait for the team to regroup. CSU still doesn't get plant down just yet, trying to play it safe and reposition without dropping the bomb.
Maybe looking for info on the people on site. Can't find it.
Spike planted.
Spider finds a frag on flank. It's pushing up.
Yeah.
One enemy remaining.
Davy Gravy gets another clean kill on site here, throws out the Jock Dart, Hades gets that headshot, and USF will be able to take this round with a defuse.
Good round from USF, only losing 1 here, being able to retake on CSU in spite of the 2 ults, which looks like they opted to hold. Going in this next round, I mean, CSU's looking at almost full roster of ults here.
Yeah,
CSU
CSU has a lot
They have
online.
pretty much everything online. It's definitely going to be a game of Overwatch.
Everyone press Q really quick. Everyone press Q.
USF's also won off some pretty good ults in terms of being able to save econ, getting close to that, you know, chamber ult for an op and a jet knives.
Yeah, for sure. Jet Knives is a really big one, and then Tour de Force for Chamber. These are both really, really impactful ultimates that can really change up the pacing for those agents, but especially save some econ there when they're on that back foot.
Looks like CSU is going to resort to that slow play again, now on a half buy.
CSU a lot in mid. Spider does see them, takes a little bit of damage, and backs up a little bit. Gets taken out by the Shock Dart. Camino gets that Sheriff headshot onto Hades. USF is in a 3v5 here at a man disadvantage. Vel playing a little bit close here, trying to get one, gets one out and drops the spike for just a moment. Stalls out CSU's push a little bit, but they're going to play a little bit aggressive in response as Vel backs up.
CSU pivoting to A as USF potentially reads them looking for this rotate. It seems like they're still very cautious of that mid lurk. Reasonably so after the last couple of rounds.
Davy Gravy on that flank, but CSU is watching very, very closely. They do kind of expect it. CSU thinking about backing up, but doesn't commit to that. It's going to get stuck here at A, kind of sandwich. Going to pop that Astra wall, get through to sight. Vel takes out one, though, the Waylay. Aquanix gets the pick as well. Big picks coming out from Aquanix with a 3K.
I mean, phantom advantage. That first one was a little rough with the spray, not gonna lie, but the last two shots were very, very clean. That was a great round from Aquanix, just cleaning up CSU as they come out for that flood.
Absolutely beautiful, and it does give Aquanix that great, great astral barrier. That is such a strong ultimate in this game. Can really just stall an entire site, and at that, free diffuse. You can't hear anything through that wall.
Absolutely. I mean, it's great for control and changing up the pacing. Looks
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
USF's got some more ults online here, potentially with KO, might help on retake. Also coming up on Sova and Chamber.
Yeah, Spider gonna play a little bit aggressively here. Doesn't get detected by the dart. Just pushing up really aggressively. Gets the pick. Is gonna try and peek around. Gets another pick. Spike is down in mid on Spider's watch. Camino is hit pretty low, but does take out Hades with a headshot. They're gonna back off and watch Spike from this angle.
CSU's on the back foot here. Camino on low health and just Astra on full.
And they virtually have just Astra able to play up and do anything. Shuki is going to try and peek this angle. Is going to get seen by Spider. Neither of them are going to hit shots on each other, though.
Spider not wanting to commit gives bomb mid as USF continues to just hold space.
Yeah. Shuki is going to pick up the bomb here and try to get this out of mid. Pulling out the knife, trying to move a little bit faster. Cautious of that flank once again. Camino's going to break door. Possibly baiting out for an A push. But it seems like Shuki's going to commit to A. Inching closer, playing extremely cautious, not really sure where anyone could be. USF does have two positioned on B site as well for anything to happen, but 25 seconds left on the clock.
Seems like USF's completely content playing retake, fully backed up off the sites, just given that space and waiting for bomb and info. They're at a huge advantage here. 4 ults, 4 rifles, and CSU barely holding on. Sliver of health.
Camino gets that headshot onto Spider, though. Almost evening out this round. They're going to get this plant down, rushing for it. USF trying to wait until everyone is at the same place to start pushing in. Vel's going to pop the KO ult, overloaded, trying to get some of these utilities out and gets both picks. Extremely clean spray transfer, and USF is going to take this round.
Really good round from USF. I mean, they're having some great mechs rounds here, just hitting these multi-frags with the Phantom.
Yeah, at that, CSU had an operator in play. Davy
Sure.
Gravy has that operator, probably going to hand it over to Hades. Just seems like the most convenient play, but who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, we have some really great oppers. Like, if I'm not mistaken, Vel's a really great opper as well.
Absolutely. It is truly just down to whoever's agent kit can really support just sitting in one place for a little bit.
For sure. It seems like CSU here has, some pretty aggressive ults online that they've made to potentially opt for, considering they don't have a full buy at the moment.
Absolutely. The Waylay ultimate can completely disrupt a site and push everyone off. It's great zoning. Jet Knives is, free weapon. And Sova ult is great for post-plant defense. So they have a lot online, but USF does have 4 ults online. They're going to opt to save that Tour de Force because Hades has that operator already. Pretty slow plays going on here. Aquanix setting down some smokes, popping one of them. CSU is going to peek out a little bit here. Jet Knives online. Isn't going to find anyone just yet. KO Knife doesn't get too much information as well. Wall is broken here. Some damage onto Camino. Spider is going to get a little bit of a timing diff there. Noth takes out Aquanix really, really early, and that's USF smokes out.
Spike planted.
Vel with a clean refrag, getting another. Spider getting another. Vel. Okay, there goes the Waylay ult there. It does hit Vel, however, they're not going to be able to capitalize. Hades gets that pick onto the Waylay. Astra's the only one left alive. She's on a little bit of a flank from mid, gets 2 extremely clean headshots onto the bomb. Gets pinged by the dart though. They know where she is. They're just playing for time here a little bit. Astra's going to do what she can, just trying to hit anything here. Does get that trade. USF might not have enough time to defuse here. This is really cutting it close.
Oh my gosh.
0.07 of a second.
That was almost an insane comeback from CSU. I mean, 1v4 situation, Astra almost clutched. They just got a great timing on that flank and just a nice transfer on the first 2.
Absolutely. She did get 3 of them, so all credits to Shuki. That is an insanely well done play.
Out of every character that could have been in that clutch, Astra was definitely the best there, being able to use that that post-plant utility just so well in order to stall time. I mean, even with the star pull, conveniently using that to kind of bait Hades into trying to defuse, thinking, you know, oh, I'm safe in the smoke, and then it's gone.
Yeah, absolutely. They did keep that op online. Davy Gravy did pick it up for Hades. So no need to use that Tour de Force in this round either. USF still has 4 ults online here.
CSU opting for potentially an 8 push instead of a split. They need to take space as they flood out on the site.
Yeah, CSU going to play really aggressive here, getting onto site, entering. Going to do their best to just get in there and do as much damage. Davy Gravy's going to pop ult onto the typical spike plant spots. Doesn't hit anyone, but does deter the spike from getting planted. CSU is going to get right back to it, popping that astral barrier. Separating the site. USF kind of playing on the back foot here just because they can't quite push into this wall without putting themselves in immediate danger.
Definitely creating a lot of uncomfortable situations for USF, so they're being forced to use this initiator until they clear it out.
Yeah, great blind coming out from Vel. Gets them to pick. Spider gets taken out by an unlucky timing swing. Great picks coming out from CSU, putting Vel in a 1v3. Is not able to complete that 1v3 though. Gets traded out by YU.
Certainly unfortunate for USF there. I mean, that's just tough pushing through that wall there. I mean, you just lack so much information. For all you know, they're holding across.
Yeah, absolutely. There's anywhere that you could just peek into and get triple watched, you know, triple angles.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a valiant effort trying to use the initiator util to clear it out. It's definitely the right play there. It just unfortunately didn't work out in terms of gunfights. CSU just sort of sat us down.
Yeah, absolutely. But USF still in the lead here, 5-4 in this game. They do have those 4 ults online. Seems like Tour de Force is going to get popped in this round. No more operator in play. Knives as well is going to get popped likely. There it goes. 2 ults online and ready for USF. CSU pops that Sova ult very, very early, possibly just trying to break some utility or get some early hits. Does hit Hades, so they are a little bit of aware of where he might be. He teleports back, trying to reposition here. Waylay's going to run it down into sight here. Camino takes out Aquanix.
CSU is going to have all of B bomb coming down as USF is realizing that that A push wasn't actually real and CSU was pivoting for B.
Yeah, absolutely. USF going to have to take some of these flanks here, some off angles. Gets taken out by Noths.
He's on the flank looking for a pick with Tour de Force. Can he find it?
He is in this 1v1 with Sova. He knows he's there. Camino gets another headshot here onto Spider. A 2v5. Davy Gravy does take out the Astro. No more smokes, but exquisitely will take out Hades there on that flank. It's all up to Davy Gravy in this 1v3. He gets taken out by the wallbang through that crate. CSU does take this round, tying it up once again. This has been a pretty close game.
Absolutely. It seems like CSU is definitely leaning more into that aggressive playstyle that you expect out of this typical comp. They're, you know, the first couple of rounds they were definitely playing very slow, but it seems like USF got pretty used to that and started playing around it. And CSU's definitely switching up the pacing here, trying to play a bit more aggressive, and it seems like it's working in their favor. Seems like they might even be going for the same thing here, looking for potentially a B rush, which unfortunately for USF is not where they have a stack. It's going to be a tough situation here for Aquanix to try and stall all of CSU.
Yeah, USF playing a little bit aggressive here onto A. Probably just trying to get that information, but it does leave potential for a pretty big flank. CSU going to use some utility on here on B. Doesn't really see anything, so they're going to play a little bit more aggressively. 3 picks coming out from CSU, making this a 2v5. Hades stuck here, going through mid. They know he's in mid. He's not going to be able to land any of those shots. Gets taken out by Camino. 1v5 for Spider. Gonna peek, gets one. Clean headshot. Gets another one through the wall.
At this point, he's just looking for picks.
Absolutely, he's just trying to take anyone with him, trying to disrupt the economy a little bit better. Maybe potentially trying to save a gun even, but we'll just have to see. YU is gonna try and chase a little bit. Already hit, so it's not gonna be super ideal, but Spider's not looking in the right places, so YU does get that pick and ends the round early.
Last round.
Definitely
in
another
the
case
half.
of CSU just kind of using their very mobile comp and just taking space very quickly. It's definitely a tough situation for the USF trying to retake. I mean, one thing that CSU is doing really well is they're kind of controlling that mid space. Even when USF is trying to retake, it's just tough because, I mean, that they just send somebody to lurk mid, and then it's, you know, even USF is just getting flanked because they're getting slowed down by the team on site.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot for USF to deal with, and CSU is no stranger to sending one mid just as a lurk, so there's a lot of caution when pushing through mid. But USF gonna push in a little bit, but find nobody at A, a full stack onto B, through B main. CSU playing a little bit slower than normal, but as soon as that Astra Star gets popped, you know, they're gonna play really, really aggressive, doing their best. Silva with the shorty in the smoke. That is evil. Gets a pick onto Aquanix, taking out USF smokes very, very early.
Fortunately, USF's going to be on the retake again.
Spike planted.
Trying to look for this opening pick and take the space. Are they aware of the jet close, though?
Hades is in a really bad spot here to 1v1 with that jet. YU does get that pick, but Spider did take out Vito. Sorry, wrong guy. Great pick coming out from Davy Gravy, but does get traded, and YU does get the final kill in this round. They throw the op off the map. They're just going to take it completely out of play. Well, it doesn't matter.
Round, yeah.
I forgot to do math, guys. It's okay.
It's okay. It's hard.
Yeah, math is hard.
Math is hard.
Here we are on the side switch, though. So we're going to see CSU's really aggressive comp possibly get a little bit flipped on its head here. Not the best suited for defense.
Looks like they may be potentially looking for a lot of this mid space, maybe even trying to run it flank on USF's speed push here.
Yeah, absolutely. I can see them just trying to play really aggressively into these flanks, into this mid space, these longer angles for sure. USF should be pretty well prepared to do a little bit more attacking. They do have a lot of utility for getting onto site. The smokes will come in very handy. The Sova and KO utility will give them the room to get onto site, that information that they need to get there.
They're triple high-lowing mid with classics. That's vile.
Yeah, you know, good for them, I guess. That was interesting. KO9 going out onto site is going to detect one, but Spider's going to be caught off guard. Camino gets one, potentially takes out Val here as well, gets stuck reloading, and Davy Gravy will get that trade. They're going to tap that plant, but get pinged by the dart, forcing them to back up a little bit as to not get shot out immediately.
Looks like USF has potentially a flank here with Hades looking to find a frag.
Hades does get one pick, but gets traded out by YU. Aquanix getting that trade, but exquisitely is going to take Davy Gravy out. Aquanix in a 1v1 here. This is completely winnable.
Astra v Astra.
Yeah. Both of these characters have insanely good utility, obviously, because they're the same character. Both of these players is what I did mean.
Aquanix is unfortunately out of stars. He's just going to have to play this one dry.
Yeah, this is going to be a really rough spot for Aquanix, but he's got this. I believe. I'm a believer.
It's definitely a tough read considering we haven't seen Astra potentially this entire game.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen anyone this round from the other side. Great clean shots.
Cleaning up the round for USF.
Amazing.
That's a huge round for them, getting that lead and picking up those guns. I mean, CSU had, like we said, very aggressive comp, not necessarily lending to defense. USF being able to get these rounds and get that economic advantage early is definitely going to put them in a great spot to win the match.
Look at the round numbers. Yeah. Anyways, sorry, our production team in the background behind us doing that as well. But we do have a little bit of a momentum push for USF. They are going to force into these guns here. Spider with the Outlaw, basically the budget operator, especially for these rounds when there's no shields in play. So one shot is a kill shot.
For sure. Interesting enough, we are seeing two Buckies on the side of CSU looking to potentially get a little scrappy as Camino walks up main.
Yeah, YU as well, playing within the smoke with a Bucky, just trying to get some of those close range kills, trying to find USF out. A little bit unexpected.
Into the Bucky and falls.
Camino does take one out with that Bucky.
Fortunately for USF, he did find the chamber, so he did not get a new rifle out of that.
I got the spike.
Yeah, they're going to trade off the spike here and slowly push towards B. A little bit more stomping now. They were going slow for a very split second. CSU is still on A. They're still a little bit leaning towards that A side of the map. But they do have Vito kind of waiting towards B, a little bit more towards mid. Probably
Definitely
just
seems
trying to
USF
listen
read
out.
their stack here.
Yeah. USF gonna pop some utility, trying to find anyone out with the drone, but is not gonna see anyone because no one is set up over here.
They're going to be pushing some utility here. Fortunately, they can take it out with that Sova.
Yeah, Davy Gravy ready for someone to peek through this smoke, but Camino's gonna play it safe, wait for the team to group up, probably play for post plant and retake.
Yeah, this is definitely a tough situation for CSU, retaking with primarily pistols here.
Yeah, USF does get that bomb down. Davy Gravy's gonna pop another one of these. Vel does get a pick onto the Sova. It's a little bit of a scrappy fight, but Aquanix comes out on top, taking out YU. Oh, but Camino gets another one with that Bucky, that close range fight. Vel takes out one more. Davy Gravy getting the trade. Pulls out the classic here, out of bullets. But Shuki gets a pick with that Bucky, gets taken out by Vel in the end.
That's tough. I mean, what a great play from Camino there on the side of CSU. I don't know if you caught that, using that TP to get in close and kind of utilize the Bucky there, similar to like you would an Omen TP or a Jet Dash.
Absolutely. The usage of the TPs for Vito is really strong. And
Absolutely.
like,
I mean, he's a very, very aggressive agent. Definitely
Yeah.
lends well to this comp they're trying to run.
yeah, absolutely. He's got great potential for that aggressive play as much as he can for just like a very like strong hold onto a site.
Yes. Unfortunately for USF here, however, they did lose a lot of their buy there. They're going to kind of be on the back foot here going up against CSU's full buy. See how they play it. Eventually opting for a slow play, looking for information on B as it finds Camino.
Oh, Spider takes one out through the wall there. Camino gets taken out by Hades. Clean headshot coming out. USF kind of lurking up mid here with the spike. Is Astra going to back up? Yes. Going to play it safe. Aquanix backs up with the spike. Going to regroup with the rest of the team on B after that clean pick.
USF looking to maintain numbers advantage, grouping up potentially for a push on B, trying to take some more space against this CSU buy.
Yeah, CSU does have a little bit of a gun advantage, but so far USF has been doing pretty good, Exquisitely playing within this smoke. Are they going to be knowing that? No. Exquisitely just manages that timing perfectly. Is going to flank them a little bit here. Takes out two. Spider does get that headshot. Shuki takes out Spider though. Refrag. Davy Gravy gets them out with the classic. Going to go for the plant here.
That was almost terrible for USF, losing two there.
Spike planted.
It's just an unfortunate timing through the smoke. They just weren't aware.
Absolutely. Sova's going to start clearing sight here in a 1v2 situation. Not too sure what to do. He knows that Aquanix is going to be playing off-site here, but Davy Gravy swings him at the same time, gets that headshot, and wins the round for USF.
What a great play from Davy and Aquanix there. I mean, that's just a great way to play that post. Just have your buddy jiggle, look for info, and then peek off him.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just perfect
Textbook.
timing. Yeah.
What a great round from USF. Certainly turning that around despite having some economic troubles, so to speak, that round. You know,
Yeah.
getting those early picks, pivoting to B. I mean, that's just the way you like to see it played.
Yeah, Vel requesting a buy really quickly.
It is going to put CSU on the back foot, though, here, opting for light shields and sheriffs. It's definitely going to be tough against Hades' outlaw buy, potentially, you know, foreseeing their economic difficulties.
Yeah, potentially this could be a very quick round for CSU, but depends on how close they play.
You never underestimate a sheriff buy.
Never. Spider's gonna tap this orb really quick. Dart going out. Doesn't really get any information from what I understood there. USF gonna rotate out just a little bit. Sending at least one mid here for this wraparound.
Seems like USF's deciding to fight it, turning around. Enticed by the jet, peeking out, looking for that frag.
Yeah, Sova's going to send drone in, trying to get a little bit more information before they full send this. CSU backed up just a little bit, putting some smokes in the way.
I know these three are here now.
Hades gets that clean pick with the outlaw. Takes out Sova. That's a lot of utility down for CSU.
Looks like USF's going to opt to rotate, not having much initiator util to get them out of this choke.
Yeah, absolutely. But they might meet up with Astra here in mid, who's going to swing around the corner. Gets
finding
one
frag.
out.
A great shot.
Yeah, great shots from Shuki here. Shuki's going to jump
30
back
seconds
out
left.
of that. Gonna go and join up with the team just a little bit. Re-peeking mid once again, but USF has completely abandoned that mid venture. It's gonna just go straight for B main here. Bayou gets a headshot onto Vel as they're pushing up onto site. Spider tries to get the pick, but Camino just, you know, quicker spray, quicker crouch. Davy Gravy gets the pick onto YU. Camino takes out Aquanix. Davy Gravy again with the refrag, but exquisitely wins the round for CSU.
Like I said, never underestimate a Sheriff buy. That's going to go in favor of CSU. I think that can primarily be attributed to CSU's mid control. I don't know if you noticed, but USF, while they did have one lurking, weren't exactly watching that walk up mid, and CSU just managed to walk up and get sound with Shuki. I mean, he
Yeah,
even found a
absolutely.
frag. That was definitely critical in terms of being able to beat USF on that rotate and setting up.
Yeah, absolutely. Timeout coming out from USF here as they regroup and try to listen in with their coach a little bit to figure out what exactly went wrong there for them. But I think it's really just going to be focusing on that mid control, focusing on those flanks, and just being generally aware of the map.
Absolutely. I mean, these next couple of rounds are critical. We've been very neck and neck. Both teams are coming up on some ults here, and both are pretty much in the same economic spot. It's very similar. So depending on how these next couple of rounds can go, it's definitely going to swing the momentum one way or another.
Yeah, absolutely. But as far as ultimates go, USF not in too bad of a spot. Just 1 point off of 3 different ultimates here. Currently, the Sova ultimate is online and ready. Really good for post-plant for defending that spike. On the side of CSU, though, they have 2 ultimates online and are pretty close to another one with that Waylay ultimate coming soon. But Astral Barrier is a really very strong ult. So, you know, actually, USF is 1 off of all 4 ults that aren't ready. That's insane. They'll be ready for all of that within the next round, surely.
For sure. Looks like USF is going to potentially opt for this kind of mid-split. Definitely realizing that they need to control mid.
Yeah, I think that mid control was what was emphasized in that little coach chat. Yeah, Spider firing off some shots here, knows that at least one is over here. Gonna not peek too aggressively here, knowing they're cross-watching that. Rest of the team gonna kind of follow suit. Hades pushed up a little bit more into mid, gets peeked by Shuki, takes them out with 1 clean headshot. Vel gets the pick onto YU, putting CSU down 2 players. Spider doesn't clear the corner, gets taken out by Exquisitely. Exquisitely is going to dash out and regroup with the team. USF going to push in potentially soon enough, though. Trying to jump peek, trying to get that information before they full send it. Camino on this flank here. KO ult getting popped by Vel. Really clean, allows them to push in. They don't know Sova is in heaven, though, ready to fight. Camino gets the cleanest headshot onto Hades on this nasty flank here. Gonna go up mid instead of going through spawn.
Going to regroup potentially with Sova in heaven and make this push happen.
Yeah, Davy Gravy does get that spike down. Nice and planted there. Another ult coming out here from Waylay. I don't think it hit anyone, but CSU gears up for that that peak. Oh, whoa, words. USF gets 2 and another one there. I don't even know what happened. I just saw colors.
A lot of utility. Unfortunately, that is, yeah, that's what Valorant is now. Unfortunately for CSU, they are going to lose that round, but you know, just some more typical, you know, flanks. They're finding that way to control mid even without necessarily having someone there. I mean, that that Asher peeking out mid very early was a very unfortunate situation for CSU. You could definitely see where USF realized, oh, Asher's getting really aggressive. Okay, yeah, we'll just kill their controller and they won't have smokes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Camino also had some amazing plays there, some really clean headshots in that past round. 4 ults online for USF, already popping 2 of them real early. Basically free weapons. A lot of jet knives getting used there. Does not really hit anyone just yet, though. Gonna throw out some of those Sova darts there, trying to get some damage down through the smoke. Spider is peeking, trying to get some information, doesn't really see anything. Hades in mid, gonna be playing a little bit more up. Does not quite see anyone just yet. On the side, on B side, Aquanix is going to push up a little bit. Doesn't see anyone holding super close, but Jet is pushing up here, is gonna meet up with Aquanix. Davy Gravy gets that clean pick there. Throws out the drone, trying to get some more information. Camino takes out Spider over on A site. Chambers still holding mid here. Hades with that angle. CSU is going to opt not to go mid, though. They know he's holding that, so they're just going to play it safe. USF going to push up onto site here. Some damage done to Exquisitely. 1 health remaining there. They peek it. Davy Gravy does get that pick. USF onto site here, ready to put that bomb down. Aquanix dropping some of that utility, gets taken out by Notes. Shuki getting 2 picks onto site. Spike Carrier is down. Hades is the only one left with Tour de Force. Not too much on his side here, though. A lot of utility going down, not in his favor. Camino is thinking about picking this. Takes him out by the knees. 13 seconds on the clock.
Out of charges.
Ooh, that was almost it.
What a terrible situation for USF with that flash. I mean, that was just rough with Shuki peeking out in front of the flash as the USF players went to turn it. It's just a tough situation. Definitely, you know, those 2 frags were critical for that round. Being able to just get bomb and then, I mean, it just puts Hades in a terrible situation. For
sure. Flashes are just kind of like one of those tough things, especially in smokes. Just the timing of it all is everything, and the positioning of it all. You know, when you're playing in a smoke, you have to kind of imagine like a 3rd dimension there. You have to get really 3D with your placement of things and how you're like really applying your knowledge and your predictions for who's going to peek out.
For some free fire with the Odin.
The Odin is crazy work, I'm not even going to lie. Spider is going to try and get some of those wallbang shots. Astra's going to pop this wall here on the side of USF. Really big, gives him that opening, but YU is going to get a pick with the operator onto Davy Gravy. No more entry information for USF. Spider does get the kill onto Camino, who fell off the map. I don't really know how that happens. I don't know. I didn't know Jet had a boop. That's news to me.
Seems USF's going to slow down, looking to take some space here.
Yeah, CSU is going to speed up a little bit. Those jet knives coming up to play, but YU also does have an operator, so a lot of versatility in the weaponry. Spider does get that trade for Vel. They're going to probably plant the spike now. I'm going to hope for the best. Shuki does come out of heaven a little bit just to spray. Gets a little bit found out, takes a little bit of damage. Spider sprays him through the smoke, gets a headshot. Steps out of the utility there. YU gets a pick onto Aquanix. No more smokes for USF. 2v2 here. Spider's going to play really close. Gets the pick onto YU. Gets the ace with the cleanest headshot I think I've ever seen in my life.
That peek was nasty on the second to last guy. He's just sitting there ADS with an op just walking
ADS into the smoke, by the way.
Yeah.
Ooh,
what a
this
great
jet
play
smoke
from
is made out of
Spider.
jet smoke.
Yeah. Even just getting aggressive and pushing in. I mean, it's just, you have to have so much confidence in your mechanical ability just to go, yeah, you know what? I'm going to ego this guy heaven. Because he just dashed on and was ready for it.
That was beautiful plays from Spider. A very, very clean ace coming out in that round, winning USF that round, putting the game at 10-9. Here we go again.
USF needs. They just need to not lose against a CSU eco buy, which is apparently a tough ass. CSU has been playing these rounds very well.
Yeah, CSU does pop that Sova ult very, very early into the round, trying to get some of that damage down. Does hit Spider a little bit. No more shields, so pretty low health, but some intel in mid. They know how many are there. Camino gets the pick, Noth as well. Davy Gravy gets that refrag, and another one onto Shuki, making this an even 3v3. YU gets a little bit timing dipped, gets not headshot, but hit by the chamber utility, and then shot by Davy Gravy.
USF looking to pivot towards A, potentially reading that the remaining CSU players are leaning towards B.
Yeah, Davy Gravy gonna stomp it up onto site here. Everyone just running it down. Gonna get this plant as soon as possible, knowing that CSU is not over here at all in any capacity. They do know at least one is gonna be coming from mid. They're gonna play a little bit off site here. They do have that Sova ultimate ready, so there's no real reason for Sova to be playing on site. Keeping an eye on this flank though. Hades is in a really tough spot here. Gets headshot by Camino, putting an op down on site. Vel is going to wrap back up just a little bit. Davy Gravy going to play a little bit farther back. Vel gets the headshot. Going to push Exquisitely off the spike for a moment. Exquisitely takes a lot of these hits. Gets taken out by the Davy Gravy ult.
What an unfortunate situation for CSU. I mean, that's really tough. Fortunately, they found that frag on Hades just standing out in the open, sort of.
Yeah. CSU losing their foothold here, kind of on the back foot. Gonna try and pull out all the stops here, just trying to get this lead back under their belt. They are forcing for an operator at that. Never mind. I think they changed their mind.
Yeah, definitely not forcing for an op here. They barely have the creds. Seems like they're just going to opt for a... Oh, just
No,
kidding. They really want that op, and they're giving it to Camino as well.
They had to shuffle it around a little bit.
Yeah,
they were like breaking their piggy banks and putting it all together to see. Hades does teleport out very, very early into that fight. CSU playing a little bit aggressive into A main there. USF gonna push up, walking up mid really quickly. Shuki takes out Spider very, very early. No more jet knives.
It's like USF's going to be pinching on a Camino here. Stuck on site with op. This is going to be a tough situation being forced into a multi-frag opportunity.
Absolutely. USF in a 3v5 here. Gonna try and get that headshot onto Camino on site. Hades takes him out. No more operator in play for CSU at the moment. Shuki peeks out, gets the headshot onto Vel. Davy Gravy gonna hold this angle here, trying to do his best to support Hades with this operator. Hades gets the pick onto Sova. Extremely clean work. Puts down the teleport. Gonna try and do some favors for himself. Davy Gravy gets the headshot there, just barely being able to see that. Hades getting another pick with the op, and it's a 1v1. YU versus Davy Gravy. You saw where the smoke came from.
Just waiting on this frag. YU's a little confused on whether he's left or right.
YU just trying to wrap around, trying to play it a little bit safe, picking a safe angle, and gets that headshot onto Davy Gravy, winning the round for CSU.
Angle.
Yeah, that was a very interesting angle. I would definitely not have expected that.
You could definitely see where YU was kind of looking left and right, was like, I'm not sure this guy's going to be, so I'm just going to back up and isolate an angle. It's definitely a good play.
Yeah, definitely. Playing with that box, too, so it wasn't, like, completely lost if Davy Gravy had went to the right.
For sure.
Yeah. This is overall very scrappy round, but cleaned
absolutely.
up super well.
Both teams are shooting.
Both teams are shooting.
Shuki may be mid-fragging for CSU, but I feel like every frag he's had has just been like crazy impact. Just getting like these weird multis or a pick mid early.
It's the impact of these kills is very, very high. Exquisitely holding this angle very, very tight. Sees the Sova bow and pings. Insane sight line. Does get blinded though. YU takes out Spider with that operator. Hades getting the pick onto Shuki with the outlaw. Setting this even as a 4v4.
USF out a duelist. Seems like they might have to slow down even more so and try to find that opening frag. Not really having any way to reasonably make space.
Hades holding that angle. Is going to push up a little bit after seeing nobody peek it for a good amount of time here. USF moving forward, but knows someone's probably holding here in library. Takes out one. Extremely clean shots, I'm not even gonna lie. Like for the whiff and the blind, can't even diss. YU trying to shoot through some boxes and just try to get some damage down early. Camino is suppressed, gets taken out by Hades with a clean headshot.
It's potentially working on an ace here.
Yeah.
That triple fly.
Hades at 4 kills. He could get the ace here. Are they going to let him? Waylay is going to be playing in spawn here, potentially trying to save the gun. Yeah, it seems like that might be the move.
For it. I mean, you can't even blame him. This would be the second USF ace this round.
That would be so, so crazy. I hope he does get this just because that would be so insane. He's going to wrap around this corner. He's going to be greeting CSU's Waylay soon. Very, very soon. Waiting in spawn here.
Ready either.
Gets the ace here. She's just playing like spawned in mode, I guess.
What great shots from Hayes that round.
Insane shot from Hayes. Just love to see it. Love to see it. Tour de Force back online once again. Probably going to... Never mind. I mean, he does have a gun. He might just save this ult just in case. But this is match point for USF. They could just take this round and take the win for the first game in the series.
I wouldn't count CSU out yet. They are on an eco buy. For
that
whatever reason, USF cannot handle them. They just infest the map.
CSU actually stands for economy.
You got it.
Shambles upgrade.
True. Credits in Shambles University.
Credit Shambles University. Camino does get that clean headshot onto Aquanics. Spike is down in mid. Davy Gravy is able to back up and just pick it up. But
another scary CSU eco.
CSU on this insane wraparound flank, probably going to hold Spike knowing it's back there. Spider does get the pick onto Shuki. No more smokes for CSU. Davy Gravy gets taken out by Camino on the rope. Spike is down once again, being held in spawn. Sova gets a pick onto Spider as well. At 1 health, Vel could meet up with him here. Gets that pick. Hades getting another one. They might be able to retake the spike here, but Hades is in a really awkward position. Kind of playing chicken with Vito.
Exquisitely, potentially finding Hades here. He's definitely not ready for Exquisitely on the flank. Worried
Absolutely
about Camino and
not.
Spawn.
One enemy remaining.
Exquisitely does get that pick after a little bit of a whiff. Hades, or no, Vel
Vel
in such a
goes.
bad spot there. Camino is going
Yet
to get that
another
pick.
crazy eco from CSU. Like I said, do not count
Economy
these guys
shambles upgrade. That's
Absolutely.
the Cleveland, who's that?
It does not matter if they don't have creds. They're just going to run it down and play these flanks. I mean, when CSU gets aggressive, they mean business. They're just in our
Yes.
spawns, and USF is not ready for this pacing.
This could be the winning match or the winning round of the game, or this could be overtime. We're just going to have to see. USF, Hades is going to pop that tour de force. He's got that shorty on
Oh, yeah,
lock.
it's time.
He's ready to go with his operator in mid. No, maybe not. He might actually just go for the B push here. KO Knife does hit one, but they're not going to push for mid this time. They're going to just play it safe and go with an actual site.
Looks like USF may be potentially looking for this B push. Historically, it hasn't been great for them. CSU does have some very strong retakes.
Yeah,
Especially
CSU
playing
is
double
peeking
duels.
into A main here. Sees that they aren't there. KO ult does get popped. They're going to rotate fast on this one. Camino gets a clean headshot, backs up a little bit here. Davy Gravy trying to get some intel through all of these smokes. Does throw out a dart. Doesn't hit anyone just yet, though. USF repositioning on site here. Vel takes out Camino. 30 health left. Not the best position, but this is not too bad for USF. Waylay ult coming out here. Vel is stuck in it. Hindered. Completely hindered. Gets taken out by Exquisitely. Hades getting the pick. Gravy as well. Extremely clean headshot coming out from Gravy. Winning the round for USF Gold.
What a great round from Davey. I mean, just cleaning up that round and saving USF. I mean, like I said, CSU, their retakes, at least on that map, are very, very strong.
Absolutely. CSU.
The one thing they're very, very good at, it seems, is taking space. I mean, especially on those eco rounds where they're just like literally running your flank 30 seconds in a round.
Yeah, absolutely. CSU played greatly. Their composition was aggressive, and it just kind of worked out for their play style. They are really
For
great
sure.
players, so this has been a really interesting game so far, and it's going to make for a very interesting series.
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
USF was cooking too. I know we've been kind of been gassing up CSU, but USF did
Both
come
have
out
been
on top.
amazing. Both have
it's-
been amazing.
It's incredible. I mean, Spider had some
Yes.
disgusting rounds. I mean, getting that ace, just running it down on Jet, and kind of
Mm-hmm.
having a little master class for us on how to play the agent.
Yeah, absolutely. The next map we go to is Split. This is USF Gold's pick, so they're going to start on the attacker side.
Oh, right. That was that was Cleveland State's, wasn't it? CSU.
Yes, that was Cleveland State's pick. So
Interesting.
yeah,
So I'll be curious to see if it's going to be as close on this map as well.
we'll just have to see.
For
For
sure.
now, we're going to go to a short break, and we'll be back with more gameplay soon.
you something new, a better part of you. You feel it in your soul, a link from head to toe. I'll go just alone. I can't stop scratching my mind. I gotta keep asking why. Stop telling me all the time everything will be fine. I can't stop scratching my mind. I don't know. Not your guardian. I can't see through your skin. I'm not your guardian. I can't see through your skin.
Welcome back to Game 2 here on Split. We've got USF on the attacking side here, running the comp of Viper, Yoru, Fade, Astra, and Raze. CSU is running Omen, Teho, Vito, Viper, and Waylay. What are we thinking?
I'm very excited to watch this. I always love watching USF play these maps. You know, one thing they typically do pretty well, especially on defense, is being able to utilize Davies utilities with spiders and just kind of comboing that fade stuff for info and getting those nades out and trying to control those chokes early. I'm very excited to see how they play this. In addition to this, CSU is a pretty interesting comp. Teo coming out. Definitely a very interesting choice. It'll be unique to see, to say the least. You know what I mean? It's definitely a much more common pick for Fade, typically for info.
Yeah, CSU does also have a new player coming in. Shuki was a sub, and they do have a new player here. So that is interesting. Very, very excited to see how both teams play this. USF is running 2 smokes, which is pretty typical for USF on this map. But overall, I'm very, very excited to see this gameplay.
Absolutely. Getting right into this first round here, it looks like USF is going to be on the attack here, looking to potentially pivot into A. Looks like they actually, CSU's might be reading this, typically looking to get scrappy on this main choke.
Ooh, absolute banger music coming out here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Love the Z classic.
Oh, okay. Anyways, so yeah, USF did set that wall down pretty early, so CSU already has kind of got the hint that USF will be on that A site. They're going to be ready. They're going to be pinging. They're going to be doing their best to strategize very, very quickly and take advantage of the information that they do already know. Pushing in here. CSU playing really, really close, very aggressive. Davy Gravy does get the pick onto Teho, or Vito, sorry.
Wow. Comes out, USF taking down CSU.
3 picks coming out from USF. Spider with that 2K. Playing very, very aggressively here. CSU in a 1v4 situation here. Viper in mid. Gonna consider wrapping around for a flank here, going through sewer.
Definitely on the back foot here. No utility, just kind of a wall waiting for fuel, and then, you know, abandoned in a dream. But that gun's definitely not to be discounted. It'll be interesting to see how they try and bring this around. It's definitely a tough situation for CSU on the retake.
Yeah, for sure. The Bandit can be very strong, but it seems like USF is kind of anticipating this flank. Some pings did go down on the map. They do pop this wall, trying to give themselves a little bit more of a divide here. Gets the pick onto Vel. Davy Gravy is low health. Hits Raze for 1, but Aquanix finds them off guard and gets that headshot, winning the round for USF.
Absolutely a pretty clean round from USF considering the amount of utility they had to deal with right at the start with CSU. I mean, that Seize and Blind came out, and that was a tough situation for USF, but fortunately they managed to turn it around there, just kind of touting that superior mechanical skill some of our players have.
Yeah, absolutely. USF probably had the impression they were going to play pretty close like that, putting the Viper wall down so early into the round. And it seems like they're going for the same effect again. Hades putting down that wall very, very early, trying to trick CSU into thinking that they're going to commit to A, but CSU not quite rotating for it. Teho is going to hold that angle, though, just trying to wait out for something. Camino does get the information. Vel gets the shot on them unscoped, getting that pick. Waylay's going to back up a little bit, not going to play for that angle. In mid, we've got a couple of peeks going on. Nulth takes out Hades, though, lurking on A site. Now that they take that lurk out, CSU is going to rotate. Vel goes for that snipe, doesn't really land the shot, though.
Opting for a TP backside, taking space, looking for this frag. Can Waylay find another pick on site with this Bucky sitting behind default?
USF pushing up here. CSU holding for default. Davy Gravy going for that plant. Gets swung. Vel takes out 1, though. CSU dropping out of heaven. Davy Gravy gets another headshot. Leon gets that pick onto Davy Gravy, though. USF going for this plant one more time here. Is hopefully going to be successful this time. Teo jumping above the box, trying to get a hit, but Spider takes him out. Last one is Heaven here. Viper gets taken out by Vel, peeking out of the smoke.
Deja vu as Leon is left to retake. Fortunately for USF, though, they are going to manage to save 3 guns there and set themselves up for potentially winning this bonus on attack here.
Yeah, USF, their econ is in great position here. Great guns in play here. Hades here with this Vandal is going to be in a good spot for a moment. Going to set up this wall once again pretty early. CSU going to be sitting up there in Heaven. Going to be holding Heaven here. Waylay jumping around. I love watching these two jump
It's
around.
definitely an important round for CSU. They need to save these rifles and kind of press the advantage a little bit here because USF is kind of getting a lot of footing here.
Yeah, utility coming back. Spider already pushed all the way up with his Bucky, trying to get the pick, gets traded out by Noths. USF gonna push up ramp here with the blinds. Teo utility coming out. Leon gets that pick onto Hayes. And another pick onto Vel. Two really crucial kills here, really stalling out USF's push. Davy Gravy is stuck in an awkward position with the spike here. Is going to go into sewer potentially.
Aquanix on a deep lurk, potentially looking for a frag. He's going to need to find one here to get USF back on track.
Holding close and mail, and then backing up a little bit is going to get just barely missed by the mid push. Aquanix is going to play it safe here, gets the pick onto one of them. Doesn't see the other though. Leon gets that third kill in that 3K. Davy Gravy's going to run it up into ramp here. Going to try and get a gun. Gets one and then is going to try and find someone out here. But they're holding a lot of angles where Davy is not.
Looks like Davy's going to opt to play slow, looking for that frag, trying to, you know, reduce these numbers before getting bombed down and giving away his location.
Yeah, definitely trying to get some of that information before just going for that plant. But with 30 seconds, he's got a little bit of time to spare if he ends up committing to A here anyway. Already in the area.
Looks like he's potentially going to clear out sight and opt for this plant. It's going to be a tough situation, potentially needing to push out and try and get one of those early frags and kind of turn this round back around.
Yeah, throwing out some utility, trying to see where anyone is, get that ping down. Knows that one is going to be holding there, gets the clean headshot onto Exquisitely. Knows another one's going to drop out of heaven, gets blinded though, runs through the molly. Viper is low health, so there is potential there.
What a great seize coming out from Davy on a triple.
Not even sweat.
Extremely clean spray transfer.
What a beautiful round from Davy. I mean, just like I mentioned, he pushed spawn, found the frag, reduced the numbers, and what a beautiful seize. I mean, that was textbook. That was some great fade gameplay.
Yeah, absolutely. Put them just in the right position to line up for those shots there. Holy. All right.
Absolutely. What a great
Davy
performance from
Gravy.
Davy. I mean, I'm just gobsmacked. That was beautiful. That was stupendous.
Yeah, Davy's got that ult online now, ready to go. Puts USF at a great advantage there, 3-0 on these round wins so far. USF's in a great spot to continue here. Vel misses a couple of these spots, teleports out, just trying to play it safe, doesn't get hit. Spider pushed up pretty far in mid, just trying to get some information. Leon is able to just barely, you know, sneak by the boombot, but they do know. They're holding that angle tight there. Spider's going to go into sewer here following Spike. Seems like USF is going to consider going towards A instead. They're going to go. Why are you holding this close angle with the Bucky? Gets Hades out. Aquanix gets the trade here. USF going to flood onto site, knowing that everyone else is in mid. CSU going for that flank into sewers, though.
Seems like USF might be ready for this flank potentially with Aquanex, though it is unclear if it's going to come out here. CSU potentially catching a timing with 3 people in sewers walking up. Is Aquanex aware?
Aquanix might be a no. No! He turns away for just a moment, but does get 2 there. Clean 3K. Could be an ace for Aquanix if he turns
Not
back
ready
around,
for
but
the
gets taken
third.
out by Camino with a stinger. Vel knows Camino's back there. He's going to hold cautiously. Smoke goes out. Vel gets that headshot. And the last one's going to be coming from CT. Spider very, very close, sees the gun, goes for the headshot. Very
Man,
clean.
that was definitely a nail biter with Aquanex there. Just the way he was looking back. I mean, even our observer in the prod room was yelling no as he looked away.
Yeah, absolutely scary stuff. USF does have 3 ults online here, though. So they're in pretty good position for this next round and the upcomings, depending on if they use all of them or not.
For sure. What a great just showcase here from USF, really using that controlled aggression and really turning up the heat on CSU here.
Yeah, they are really doing great on this attack. This is their map pick, so really glad to see such great success. Vel running in with the ult here, trying to get some intel, sees the Omen, pings him. Fade ult is going to get popped, knowing that the Omen is inside of it. He does get hit. He does not hear anything. He's just trying to shoot out of sheer panic. Vel takes him out. Hades getting another pick. Aquanix as well. Viper ult gets taken out on CSU's end. So USF is in a great spot here. CSU in a 2v5 on the back foot. Noth's trying to get some information. Thinks one is sewer. Is going to back up, running back through mailroom, back into heaven here. USF gets the plant down, and they're going to play offsite for this post plant a little bit.
USF just playing safe, tucked, trying to play those numbers.
Bell running up with the judge, just getting one. Exquisitely does read frag that, though. But Hades comes up mid, gets a little bit of damage down, but is going to play it safe and back up instead. Yeah, Vito in a really bad spot here, unfortunately. Gets taken out by Hades, but playing in heaven there when everyone's just in such different locations, nobody's going to peek that, you know?
Absolutely. I mean, the name of the game there is just trying to save rifles because, to be honest, CSU needs those frags on USF more than USF needs those kills on CSU.
Absolutely. Timeout coming out here from CSU. They're probably going to try and figure out what's going on here, try to get some of that momentum in their favor, do some analyzing of what is working for USF and what they need to step up on.
Absolutely. I mean, my guess, personally, USF is just running these runs, like just running it down pretty much. What I would expect probably out of CSU here is they're probably going to try to form up and use a bit more of that utility to stall out the chokes and kind of slow down these pushes. Because one thing USF's been doing is they're kind of just stacking one of the lanes here and then just letting Vel kind of lurk and try to dissuade CSU from immediately rotating off noise.
Yeah, absolutely. USF is using a lot of utility in very, very smart ways, leaving the impression of where they might be going, leaving CSU kind of guessing, holding space in places that they don't need to be holding space in when USF is on that offensive, trying just to get into sight, and it's distracting CSU from actually paying attention to what's going on with USF. Here we go. Timeout is over. USF seems like they're going to go for a little bit of a split push on the map, though. But Spike is looking to go for that B push once again. CSU very much stacking A here. Even
Sorta
Vipers setting up
here.
a
It
wall.
seems like they're potentially looking for a trap play here on USF, but unfortunately for them, there's only two here, one of which has a TP, so they potentially may not see much use out of this utility.
Yeah, it seems like Hades is going to play back a little bit here as well. A lot of utility getting dumped into that situation. YU's going to push up, but then use the Waylay utility to back out. Seems like CSU is scattering now, knowing that they picked the wrong place to be. But USF is sending the bomb through mid here. Omen gets taken out by Spider super early in vent. USF is going to be able to take B site basically for free. Viper gets taken out in garage super duper early into the round. CSU is down smokes and another player. This is like really... No, they're down both smokes actually.
Yeah, on pistols here too. This is a very tough retake. Vel finds two with the Outlaw.
Clean shots coming from Vel there. Only one left. Gonna be coming from CT here. Only with the pistol, once again in a really bad position. USF's just gonna play to hold this angle.
Exquisitely taking his time, looking for the clear, and Davey catches him, swinging into sight. And that's going to be another round for USF. I mean, looking at it, you can definitely tell that CSU was trying to combat that kind of aggressive, typical USF push. And, you know, historically, USF did push A pretty often, so it was a pretty reasonable gamble. Unfortunately for them, though, USF just wasn't there, and the people that were there were sort of ready for it. I mean, just having, you know, Hades play back and letting Vel just sort of walk in and get out for free after wasting all their utility. CSU just can't really retake after wasting that much unrechargeable utility on an eco.
Yeah, and at that, Hades playing back when Vel was pushed up a little bit more on A. That was an insane read.
Absolutely,
like,
some great awareness there.
They just knew that there was going to be a util dump there. Spider takes one out very early in mid here. USF's going to spray through the smoke, trying to find another one out. Viper is holding in mailroom here, so Spider's going to throw some utility. They know one is definitely in... Oh, the tail coming out here in mid. Camino does take out Aquanix here. A lot of investment in mid here, but is it going to work out? 4v4 on the board here. Some utility does find out Davey.
Another bot. CSU is reeling trying to keep this mid control as USF slowly working up A.
Yeah, USF is going to rotate over to A through sewer, sending the bomb this way. Seems like they're prepared, but do they know that Vito is holding on site right now?
They can definitely hear his utility as they're walking up. Now Vito's aware as they've taken out their trip, and it looks like CSU's potentially trying to pivot here. Just leaving Omen sort of backside B to try and hold that space.
Yeah, Spider gets another pick in mid here onto the Viper. Knows that Teo is playing close, but doesn't quite peek it. Gets headshot.
30 seconds left.
USF gonna start doing a little bit more to get on Spite here. Omen ult getting popped, gets peeked by Exquisitely. Omen teleports onto site, Hades takes one out, Camino gets the refrag. Camino's a little bit panicked here, just trying to take out Davy Gravy.
Looks like they're up against the raid boss,
Oh.
and they take him down. Davy Gravy falls, and that's going to be CSU's first round. This could be the momentum they need to sort of bring it back and, you know, rile it back in. USF's been having a very, very dominant half. I mean, it makes sense, such an aggressive comp with Raze and Yoru and whatnot. They have a lot of potential for taking space very quickly and holding that sort of map control.
Yeah, for sure. CSU could take this momentum, but also look at the ults that USF has online. They've got that Astral Barrier. They've got that Viper's Pit. Those are two extremely strong ults for holding site and keeping site, especially post-plant.
Absolutely, and don't discount Raze's ult as well.
Yes,
I mean, it's
for sure.
free space.
Great entry there, potential. But Spider's going to satchel up, all the way up ramp. It's just going to hold close in heaven for a moment.
They
Gonna
hear that
back up a
V2
little bit.
utility as well. A little nervous to push, it seems. I mean, you can't blame him. The man is not going to get flashed if they push out.
Yeah, Vel popping the ult here, trying to get some information, trying to make sure nobody's holding on site once again. That was a great choice from CSU in the last round and really did help them take that. But Vel backs up into elbow here, pops out of the ult. Viper gets that pick. USF gonna pop that Viper's Pit. Hades gonna make it so that they can actually do something with it. Spider takes out Viper. Hades getting another pick. Vel as well taking out another trade coming out from USF here. CSU only got one alive, the Veto and the ult.
Be a 4v1. Vito does have evolution, however. It's not lost yet, but it is a very tough situation. He's going to have to definitely pick up the pace and take out some players here.
Yeah, he's going to peek into this ult. Doesn't quite see anyone just yet. Gets an insane flick, but Hades is going to trade it. Another round for USF.
A great positioning from Hades. Fortunately, you know, Vito swing in, just couldn't see him. Sets Hades up perfectly for that refrag.
Yeah, absolutely. The lack of visibility inside of the Viper's Pit is just what makes it such a strong control. CSU did invest an ultimate into that round there. USF still has 2 online. Yeah, CSU not looking too good for their ult economy, not looking good for their actual economy either. Kind of just really playing on the back foot here.
Looks like we're seeing another outlaw buy from Vel, potentially trying to take advantage of CSU's, you know, disenfranchised state, trying to look for some frags potentially on this lurk, getting aggressive again.
Disenfranchised, I like that. That was really good. That's like the
I
truest
read
use of
books
that
or
word.
something.
Yeah, that was like the truest use of disenfranchised I've ever heard in my life. Yeah, USF is going to make some noise in mid here. Spider playing aggressive, trying to get some of those early picks. Distract in heaven. Vel does get the pick onto Camino. The budget operator comes into clutch. Boombot does see Noths, but Spider's going to back out of mid here as soon as that smoke goes out.
USF is keenly aware of CSU stacking mid as they're pivoting instead for an elbow here on B, trying to
Yeah.
take some space where their Omen is now lacking.
Yeah, CSU gonna go on this flank, but Viper might just meet up with them. Yep, sees YU, gonna start spraying a little bit, gonna throw the molly down, try and stall them out from just running it. Swings the Viper, does not get the pick. Leon gets that headshot. CSU's gonna continue on this flank. They're committed. USF is gonna get this plant down. No one to actually hold the site. Vel's gonna hold for long for just a moment. He knows that they're in there.
USF seeding main, looks like they're playing primarily for heaven control.
Gets wallbang through there. Why are you getting that headshot into heaven? Takes out 2. Davy Gravy getting that trade though. CSU just jumping a lot of utility. No one knows Exquisitely's in CT. Spider gets that pick. He's just got to play for the spike here. Pops
What an
the
awkward
ult. That's
Finds it
one.
anyways.
Peeks it.
And
Peeks it.
unfortunately for USF, CSU is going to find their second round of the half,
A thrifty.
allowing them to win a thrifty.
Yeah, we know how those seem to go.
I mean, speaking from like a mental game, explicitly, that's a very big round for CSU, kind of proving that, you know, USF is having this dominant turnout and really, you know, messing them up, but it's not all lost yet. If they can pull out a thrifty, maybe they can win on a full buy as well.
Yeah, I mean, CSU is going to take this, is going to try and level out their guns a little bit, doing a little bit of forcing. Camino going for the Odin. You know, choices are made. The Odin is a gun of all time.
Definitely an interesting choice. Maybe going for some wall bang, trying to beef with Vel, who's been
Hiding
kinda
up in
just
the
fighting
on
him
top
here.
of the boxes in the corner outside of garage here.
Just looking for that multi-frag.
Knows it's a clone. Astro Wall is going to get popped here. Really, really big, important ult. Utility is going to get dumped to try and stall out their push, but USF is actually going for the A push, and this was a complete and total bait. Exquisitely gets 2 headshots, another kill, putting that 3K on the board. USF down 3 players in a 2v5. This is not looking good for USF. Spider lurking up mid is going to go into vents here, slowly but surely, hoping to catch the 2 on ramp off guard, but 1 turns around. It's almost like they expect it.
Spider taking his time, looking for 1.
Gets found
Unfortunately,
out
Noth
by
is
Noth.
prepared.
Yeah.
Maybe looking for frags.
Navy Gravy is in a really tough spot here, just getting spammed through the smoke. Smoke is going to go out, exposing 2. He does get 1, but
Almost
gets traded
finding
out.
2. You know, USF did win that initial util trade at the start. Definitely well played for them, but unfortunately CSU just exquisitely just put them down, sort of.
Yeah, absolutely. USF losing a little bit of their momentum here, but there's always a chance for a comeback.
Absolutely. I mean, unfortunately, that's just the way Val is sometimes. Even when you sort of, like, in some ways outplay the other team and win those util trades, it just sometimes comes down to gunplay. And unfortunately for USF there, CSU just kind of won.
Yeah, CSU is forcing for this operator here, too, for YU. Really interesting choice. Holding in mid, too, but USF isn't going to send anyone mid just yet. Spider going to play a little bit aggressive, satcheling up the ramp. Nobody's playing in heaven, though. Vito on the catwalk outside of heaven, though.
Spider breaking this trip, it kind of putting a question mark for CSU on whether or not they're actually up heaven. CSU's going to opt to play a bit slower, potentially retaking heaven as a group. They're still nervous of this mid lurk.
Yeah.
CSU is playing very static, waiting for USF to sort of make the first move here.
Exquisitely actually playing in hell here.
Spider inserted as USF's kind of grouping up for this A hit potentially, waiting on Fade utility.
Yeah, dropping some of those Astra Stars, putting a smoke out. Fade ult coming out. Gonna try and push really fast. Exquisitely gets an extremely clean headshot. Vel takes him out though, teleporting onto site. Vel gets another one as well. They're gonna take site here pretty cleanly. USF is gonna be able to get this plant underway soon enough. Aquanix takes out Camino in mid, and CSU is left in a 2v4. Going on the flank here, coming down from ramp. Nos is going to push through, potentially gets almost spotted by this utility. YU takes out Aquanix with that operator.
Don't count CSU out yet. Pushing into sight, looking for frags.
Gets a clean headshot from Vel. Vel gets
with a
another
4K.
headshot. 4K coming from Vel. This guy is so dialed in right now. He builds up his ult once
Absolutely.
again.
I mean, our players are on fire this match. They're coming back. This is their map pick. They are not seeding rounds, and they're not playing that close match like they did last game.
Yeah, absolutely. USF is on fire in this round of the series.
Absolutely. I mean, this half, they're having a very dominant play, and honestly, even going into defense, running this double duelist isn't even a bad comp for defense. I mean, they have that Astra, they have that Viper. That's a lot of control on those lanes, and being able to use Vel to fast rotate. USF potentially is going to do pretty well here defensively, at least just looking at their comp.
Evolution does get popped on the side of CSU. USF using this ultimate to try and get some information. Did find out the veto here, trying to play on site. Does get pushed off. Vel has the judge, might go for the play inside of the smoke here, just trying to find him off guard. Does go for the headshot, but Exquisitely does win that fight overall. Spider does back up a little bit here, gets spotted out by the Teo utility. Lock coming in from mid here. CSU with that heaven control. Gonna be peeking out onto site. Spider does get the pick onto YU. But Leon gets that pick onto Spider. Another one coming out on the Davy Gravy. 2 very clean headshots. USF gonna come out from the flank here. Camino does get both of them. An extremely clean retake from CSU.
Certainly a controller buff there from CSU. Leon and Camino kind of cleaning up that entire round against USF. USF may have had sight, but they didn't take enough of the utility, and it just allowed CSU to sort of just mess with them, you know what I mean? Just kind of toss in those smokes and disrupt USF's hold and make a successful retake.
Yeah, for sure. Could have potentially been a tactical loss to avoid that 3-9 curse, you know?
Absolutely, absolutely. Had to have been.
Yeah, surely, surely.
We at USF Prod love coping on our behalf. It's great. One of our favorite pastimes.
No. I love to see close games. I love to see I love to see it. I love to see great gameplay in general, and seems like
Absolutely,
CSU has got some great players. I mean, that was an extremely clean round.
It seems like they're definitely bringing the fight back to USF, not willing to give up this this game just yet.
Yeah. For sure, for sure, for sure. CSU is gearing up for this B push, though. Gonna play a little bit quickly, pushing in, just trying to get that intel. But CSU's actually gonna peek into mid a little bit more. They're gonna send some utility mid. Tejo trying to spot something out. Doesn't quite see anything, though. Turns a little bit early.
CSU again
Hades.
opting for the slower play on pistol.
Hades doing the jump peek, finds what he needs to see, and is going to rotate over to A side heaven, where Viper is lurking. CSU's Viper.
USF didn't catch the player B main and is now rotating out under the assumption it's clear, potentially.
Nah, I think just a little bit of repositioning coming on, but Hades does get the pick
Certainly
onto the
suspicious.
lurk. CSU dropping some smokes here, some more utility as they try to prepare to come onto site. A lot of stuff getting dropped here, but YU doesn't clear. Spider getting 2 clean headshots.
Spike down B.
Exquisitely stuck in there, lower on health than he would like to be, taking a bit more damage from Spider's grenade.
Definitely a tough situation for Exquisitely. It seems like this is going to be USF's round in a 1v5 on 16 health, and he falls to Vel. The first round of the half's going to go to USF. I mean, like I mentioned, this comp that USF's running honestly works both ways between attack and defense. I
Yeah.
mean, even with like running double duelist, with Yoru, he sort of doubles as like a semi-initiator, and him being able to rotate so quickly definitely lends to sort of playing a stack on either side, no matter where CSU pushes.
Yeah, for sure. CSU is going to go for this hard save here. Just going to try and do their best to buy for the next round. USF going to take advantage of that little bonus they got from winning.
Looks like Vel's going to be opting for a pseudo-op with the Outlaw here this round.
Gets one
Finding
out
an early
already.
pick.
Camino does take out
Can he
Spider
find
playing
2
close.
as CSU floods into sight, and he falls out of sight, rotating.
Yeah, Vel's gonna reposition here, but is greeted with a smoke. Does have a ghost, so it's not a complete lost cause, but gonna rotate back a little bit, waiting for someone to push into CT. Seems like that is the plan for CSU, just to hold that angle there a little bit.
Playing that high-low, hoping Vel will walk up, but it really seems like they aren't going to find any value there as USF floods out Heaven, finding one on default.
Aquanix does get a pick, but Camino gets a refrag. Aquanix taking out 2 with the judge. Extremely clean, and Vel gets that last pick onto Camino, claiming this round for USF.
What a great round from our boys, just sort of cleaning it up. Definitely a rough situation losing that many rifles, but considering they're on retake against CSU there, definitely well played between Vel and Aquanix.
Not the worst situation to be in, taking another round under their belt, especially when they're getting closer and closer to match point. They're only 2 wins off of that
For
match
sure.
point.
Interestingly enough, they actually chose to drop the Outlaw here, opting instead for these judges, which are very, very strong on split against a full buy.
No, but I kind of get that because they know that CSU was doing that hard save last round. So they know that this round, they're going to be going all out. Many of them do have full shields. So using the Outlaw here wouldn't really be beneficial as it doesn't do as much damage as it would have.
Absolutely. That judge is very, very potent too on these close angles mid.
Yes, for sure. They know that it's not going to be a one-shot anymore, so it's going to be a lot less useful to them. So they're going to switch it out for something else. But CSU doing a little bit of a split push, a lot going on in mid, but they're not going to push up just yet, playing very, very slow in mid, just throwing some utility down. Teo trying to find out Hades, but isn't going to be able to see him with the smoke in the way.
CSU nervous of this potential judge play in mid. Pretty predictable from Hades here in terms
Yeah.
of
They're
Viper
definitely
gameplay.
nervous, so they
Yeah.
rotate out completely to Sewer. They're going to go for that A push instead. Viper already lurking over there, so. But USF is ready with some utility on ramp.
It's like USF's reading this rotate, giving up all of B and opting for a stack against CSU's full buy.
What an insane read from USF if they commit to it. Just clearing mid, making sure nothing's in there.
CSU's going to hear that dog, knowing some people are heaven, getting those smokes up, flooding sight,
Yeah.
finding Vel on sight. Wii finds the first pick as they're working to get bomb down here.
Well, maybe it is Wii U. Yeah, Camino does get a clean pick, and Noth as well with 2 picks. Another one coming out for the 3K, winning CSU that round. Really clean stuff from CSU. Just playing it slow until they really need to run it down.
Absolutely,
Once they
bringing
can-
back some of that momentum,
Yeah.
keeping these rifles is going to be critical for trying to have this comeback here. I mean, USF is only 3 points off of victory. Getting every round they can and kind of maximizing this buy and keeping these rifles is going to be the way CSU brings this back if they can.
Yeah, for sure. CSU does seem to be setting up for a B push once again, but they could just potentially go into mid and change their minds. It's just a very open opportunity when you're not quite in C garage or B garage yet. You can just kind of rotate out and do as you would in any other situation.
Seems CSU is actually opting for heavy shields over utility on some of their characters, at least in the case of their veto, potentially nervous of Vel's historic outlaw buys against their light shield rounds.
Yeah, definitely a valid concern. Vel does use that outlaw a good amount, but CSU is once again going to play it a little bit slow, try to bait out some of that utility early. Spider's going to throw Boombot, going to get shot out instantly. Seems like CSU's Viper is going to push up a little bit on the other side of this wall with Vel. Vel is cautious of it, though.
It's definitely a tough situation for CSU due to their lack of utility. They're having to play a lot slower and just generally give up a lot more map control, leaving inserts on the elbows, just trying to find a frag on these lurks.
Viper doesn't clear Vel. Vel gets that headshot very, very easily. Seems like they're going to pop a lot of this utility out, try to get it out. Aquanix gets that headshot onto Wii
An unfortunate circumstance for CSU. They sort of have to commit to this, just running out as they get sprayed down by Davey.
Spike down.
Spider and Davey getting those clean shots.
Kamino's
onto
reeling,
CSU.
running back
Kamino.
as he finds one frag actually with the outlaw. Not too bad considering he's having 5 players run at him.
Yeah. Another round for USF, 11-5.
Definitely closing in on that victory, and we'll see, as expected, a timeout here from CSU trying to sort of use these TOs and figure out their plan going into this half. I mean, they started bringing it back in attack. What do you think they're going to do here?
I think there is potential for a comeback, but they are just not playing too much into their strengths. We saw their strengths in their aggressive gameplay. They aren't really in the comp necessarily for it, although Waylay is a great entry. But there's just a lot that they could be doing just as far as gun gameplay that
Absolutely.
I don't think they're doing to their advantage.
It seems they're definitely a lot less comfortable on this map comparatively to their map pick on Abyss, where they were honestly very neck and neck with USF. I mean, you could see the way CSU was very, very comfortable just rotating, running flanks on Abyss and whatnot. And it seems with Split, at least, they're a lot less comfortable with just taking space and maintaining it. USF's been very dominant on these lanes.
Yeah, absolutely. USF has been doing a great job here on both defense and offense. Their attack was just actually legendary. I can't even lie. That was just like an insane streak. I think that's the longest win streak I've seen in one of these games. So great stuff coming out from both teams, but we'll just have to see what they do for these last few rounds. Cutting it close here for CSU.
Looks like USF's opting for more mid control here.
That, I think, makes sense because CSU has done a lot of focusing on mid, but they're playing so slow. So maybe just an aggressive play. Exquisitely does get that early pick onto Velwio as well. Trades coming out from both sides. Davy Gravy and Davy Gravy's taken out. Aquanix takes out Camino, though. This is a 2v3 here, USF on that back foot.
In spite of switching it up, it seems like USF definitely lost that engagement mid. It's going to be in favor of CSU as they get an insert and look to rotate and pinch onto Hades. He's going to have to find a pick here or try to slow them down coming main. That way his teammate can group up with him.
We use extremely low health.
Low in
Turn
health.
back around, Hades. Turn back around, Hades. Gets taken out by Wii U. Unexpected completely. Aquanix is going to go into vents here, playing very, very slow. Just trying to read the room. Does have 2 stars online. So it's not the most impossible, but does get taken out by
Doesn't
Leon.
take his time and just gets caught by that guy on ramps. I mean, it's totally reasonable to assume they're all playing on site considering it's a 3v1.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Just really unfortunate timing there.
Absolutely.
Looking
I
the
mean,
wrong way.
Yeah. Sorry.
All good.
Dude, we've all been sick in the office. Holy crap.
It's been chilly down here.
It's
We
been
can't handle it.
so cold in Florida. It's killing all of our immune systems.
Absolutely.
Doing my best not to cough. But it seems that CSU's definitely struggling here. The 6-11 scoreboards
Yeah.
probably
But this
not
could be
putting
the
them in a great
comeback for
situation.
CSU.
Yeah.
Vel playing extremely close quarters with this op. Is he going to find anyone? Vipers tended to play extremely slow on their lurks on A side, but CSU is going to play a little bit more aggressive than usual, pushing up mid a little bit faster, throwing down some utility a little bit earlier.
Seems like that last round, finding those early picks mid could be the difference for CSU, and I think they're realizing it. They're pushing up, finding Hades.
Exquisitely takes out Spider as well. No more mid hold for USF. Davy's going to swing out, try to get a little bit of that refrag, holding in Mail.
CSU is in a very dominant position. A lot of ults online, Evolution up, and a 2-man advantage. Looks like they're going to be grouping for A. Can Davy find a pick mid? Camino's tagged very, very low.
Camino is
coming to
very
clean
hit.
him up.
Camino's going to pop that ult, try to get out of there, but Aquanix takes him out on that teleport. Very clean pick from Vel here. Gonna pop that ult to reposition, not get stuck in the utility. 3 on site. USF does know exactly where they are. Vel's gonna try and back out of sight here a little bit, wait for the rest of the team, and put some utility down there.
It's definitely a tough retake against a Vito with Evolution up. I mean, they can't use these flashes to clear anything, because for all they know, he's standing there holding.
Yeah, for sure. The Tejo ult coming out here, trying to catch someone, but nobody's in it. It's not gonna find any use. If he's going to send one of these dogs out onto site, does find someone, a little bit of a distraction. Vel gets another pick as well. Nos getting that trade onto Davy Gravy. Nos getting another with the shotgun, with the shorty. Aquanix is left to swing this. Does not get that, though. Nos hitting that clean headshot.
They lined up there. There's a world where they
There's
collide.
the power
That
of
would've been
friendship.
crazy.
Watch them.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
we're coming up to a 7-11. It seems like CSU is definitely bringing the fight to USF, saying, you know, this match is not over. We're not just going to roll over and let you have this because it's your map pick. They're definitely grouping up. It seems like after that TO, they sort of reorganized and are being a lot more cautious with their mid control and trying to get these early picks before really committing to a site.
Yeah, for sure. Let's talk about the ult economy really quick. USF does have 2 ults online, the Raze Showstopper and the Astral Barrier from Astra. Those are pretty strong. I mean, Raze can put a lot of damage. It really packs a punch, and, you know, Exquisitely does take out Hades extremely early into this round. Camino gets that pick onto Aquanix. There's no more smokes for USF.
It's a tough round for USF, down some very important players.
Yeah. Vel does get that pick
Spike
onto
down
Nos.
mid.
Spike is down in Mail, so that's going to be a really tough position for Exquisitely to get.
Looking for
He's
this
got that
frag. They
shotgun.
need every rifle they can get.
Somehow, Exquisitely gets that.
Player standing.
Just not playing with that range advantage. Leon gets that pick as well. Davy is disconnected, is what we're hearing. So Davy is once again having some technical difficulties, so we do have a disconnect on the side of USF. So this will be a round for CSU.
Fortunately, that means we might be going to a tech pause here in a minute, but of course they are going to play out the rest of this round. Very unfortunate for USF. CSU has a lot of economic advantage going to these next rounds, especially if they have a DC. It's just a tough situation.
Camino's contemplating, but
Yeah,
goes for
he's
the
a little
shot.
confused.
No, Wii takes it from him.
Wanted the ult orb for that ultimate.
Wanted the ult orb, wanted
Yeah.
the greed, wanted the spotlight.
Who gets
but-
that ult up?
Yeah.
Seems like we still have a DC, or we may not be going into a tech pause. They may just be playing it, potentially.
No, they're going
Nope.
to pause.
Okay, we're
They're
going to
gonna
a tech pause. I
pause.
was a little worried for a moment.
Yeah, here we are going into our tech pause here. A little bit of a delay, but this is a close game. CSU might be on a comeback. They have been winning a few rounds in a row.
USF does only need 2 more rounds, but CSU does have a huge advantage right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that last round, USF just had to hard save, honestly. It was
Yeah.
just really tough playing those pistols and just kind of getting taken down by CSU. They could only manage to take away 1 rifle as well, so CSU's
Yeah.
still going to have a full buy going into this next round.
Yeah, but at least the hard save does put them into the position to match the rifles.
For
But shields is another story.
I think the key difference we've kind of noticed here is CSU really isn't respecting that mid-hold that Viper had originally. That was one mistake they were making, is they were sort of just ceding a lot of this control and sacrificing even like their veto utility for shields, just focusing on trying to win these gunfights and not really trying to play that utility game the way they were on their
Yeah.
Abyss pick.
It is, like I said, where they just need to focus on the gunplay, on their strengths, rather than focusing on what's working for their kits, and it works out that way better for them. But yeah, still in that tech pause, hoping we get that sorted soon enough.
All right, we'll be going to a quick break waiting for this tech pause. Hopefully we'll be back soon. We're going to try to address it, and hopefully we'll be right back. Stay tuned. Looks like we're back to the match here as Davey reconnected. Unfortunately, we just had a crash. Some of our PCs here at USF have been struggling a tad in our comp room. Unfortunately, that's resulted in a few crashes. But it seems like it didn't impact that round too much.
Yeah, seems like we are back on track here, the best that we can be. Timer is ticking down, so this round will start in just a second.
Well, going for this op, looking for an early pick, but the stun comes out, predicting this early aggression from Bell.
Yeah, early aggression from Bell. He's going to hold this really close angle, but CSU's Omen is going to play really, really slow, really close angles.
CSU definitely looking for that mid control, stacking with the 3-man, not wanting to respect this Viper too much. Looking for a little bit of information on where Viper might be and finding that she may not even be there.
Yeah. You took the words right out of my mouth. That was exactly what I was going to say, honest to God.
It is what's happening.
Yeah, it is what's happening.
It is what's happening.
Bell does get that pick onto Camino, gets that Odin out of play. Really big. He is pretty low on health, but has those regen shields, so at least he's got a little bit of leeway there. CSU gearing up for an A push, pushing out to ramp. Davey's going to throw that dog there, going to get that intel that they're pushing up ramp, and is going to back up a little bit, going with the Viper wall. Going to rotate to CT here and hold this long angle, giving CSU heaven.
USF's going to respect this space, sort of just looking for a frag and some more information. For all they know, it's 1 right now. CSU's still just slow walking.
Yeah, big ult getting popped by Waylay. Does hinder one. Aquanix gets the pick onto Exquisitely here. Aquanix in a bad position. Whoa, extremely clean shots coming out there. Everyone at once gets taken out. CSU in a 1v4.
Bot's going to clear elbow. It's in a 1v4.
I blinked.
10 seconds getting this plant off is going to be tough, and Spider's going to clean up the round, taking down Wii. Looking good for USF. We're on match point now. A couple of really important ults up here as well. They're definitely edging out CSU in terms of economy as well.
They're what? They're what? Anyways, we've got 3 really good ults online for USF. We've got that Showstopper. We've got that Astral Barrier. We've got that Fade ult too. These are great, great, great ults here. And I'm just, you know, CSU did have that really great streak, but it seems like their momentum might have gotten wrecked by that tech pause. Vel's going to play close again. Camino gets that shot, though, playing the same game as Vel, giving him a taste of his own medicine, honestly.
Absolutely. It seems like USF's going to be clearing out these lanes, trying to maintain some of the space, but simultaneously still ceding it to CSU as they try and get a lurk up onto A.
Yeah, Aquanix does see one, is not going to peek it again. Viper is going to back up a little bit, hold for ramp, but I don't think anyone's going to really play that aggressively with them. Hades takes out another one, trading out Spider here. CSU seems to be pushing into heaven here. 3 heaven with a spike. Hades in an awkward position.
It's critical
playing right under them.
finds a frag.
Sees the gun, does not hit, gets oversaturated. Wii U does get that headshot. They're going to drop on the site here and get this plant basically for free.
USF is now in a 2v4 on match point. Sorry, a 1v4 with 1 on flank. This is a tough situation for Davey, but he has been known to win these.
Yeah, well, there is the Viper on flank right behind him. He is in a bit of a pinch here. They're holding this high-low once again. He's going to try and get some of that damage down, dodges that hit, but gets taken out by Leon again with that headshot.
CSU could potentially bring this back, but it's going to be tough. Fighting against that match point is just a really, really tough situation. I mean, even from a mental standpoint, just knowing that, like, any mistake you make this round, that's just the difference.
Yeah, maybe that's what motivates CSU to play a little bit harder here, do a little bit more, and stretch themselves a little bit thinner. Forcing for that operator, Vel, really just wants to play those long angles, really wants to play that oppressive operator into this round here.
CSU is going to be up a tad on economy as well, but USF might be able to balance that out with the amount of ults they have online. Nearly every ult in their roster.
Waylay is going to dash up that ramp, going to play really aggressive there, but nobody's holding close. Everyone's going to hold closer to CT. Viper's Pit active in mid, but no one seems to really care to go mid right this second. CSU is going to rotate, but goes potentially unseen. Davey Gravy does hit 1 with the ultimate.
Seems like USF's going to know that CSU is potentially leaning towards mid or B.
Yeah.
So trying to sort of hold this. I mean, mid has been the difference for CSU, whether or not they get this mid control.
Wii U takes out Spider, though, within the Viper's Pit.
CSU working on that win con, taking heaven. trying to take some space B and pinch this B player.
Aquanix holding this angle here. Hades is going to creep up into heaven here. Wii isn't looking for them, but does drop a gun, so it gets taken out there. 2 dropped on the side of USF. This is a 2v5. A 1v5 gets taken out by the Molly.
CSU is going to regroup, potentially playing numbers, trying to get this plant down. Aquanix is now forced into a 1v5 situation.
Yeah, this is a 1v5. Only 2 stars online.
30 seconds
Might not
left.
be worth using the ult here. Might just be worth saving.
Absolutely. I mean, USF's down credits here. They need every rifle they can get.
Yeah.
Losing this many people means they're probably not even going to have a full buy next round. It's going to be a really, really tough spot for USF. Potentially bringing CSU closer and closer to getting this OT.
Yeah, USF is just in a really tough spot altogether at this match point, trying to do their best, trying to win this final round for themselves. But Aquanix is going to hide in this corner, might get found out. They're looking around for him. They're not going to run around, but they are looking for him.
They do not want him saving this rifle. They're trying to definitely press their economic advantage and keep USF down here.
Yeah, but are they going to find him? They are prepared to peek for this. Sees the gun. Aquanix does get that headshot, takes 1 with him at the very least. Exquisitely is going to run it down now. He doesn't get that kill, but Exquisitely takes him out, putting USF down the guns again. USF is going to call for a timeout here, try and reconvene, try and figure this out before they lose their advantage here at match point.
Absolutely. I mean, this is the first USF tech pause, or not tech pause, regular pause we've seen so far. We've definitely seen a tech pause. But this is the first regular pause where they're sort of strategizing. You know, this is a good time to do it, 10-12. It's starting to get uncomfortably close for USF. They're in a really rough spot here. They either need this round or they need a lot of damage on CSU to sort of slow them down and get enough economy for USF to be able to play a full buy round and hopefully secure the win before going OT. I mean, with the way CSU's been playing, it seems like they've definitely kind of figured out USF's weaknesses. I mean, specifically on defense, USF, every time they lose that mid control and CSU manages to get an insert in heaven, it's just a really, really tough situation for USF now because it's a lot more awkward to rotate and try and control sites, and they're sort of forced just to give it up, which historically CSU's been winning a lot of those retakes. I mean, they have a very oppressive comp per hold with this double controller.
Yeah, USF hasn't been doing too great on those retakes, especially in heaven. In that heaven space, they haven't been taking those fights very well. So as soon as CSU gets into that like heaven, like they go up ramp or they go up mid through mail, it just gets really, really difficult for USF to counteract that. But we'll hope to see a little bit of a change in pace here. But overall, this has been great gameplay. USF can't afford to buy anything. Seems like they're going to opt for that hard save once again. Kind of a risky move. Could put them down around, but we'll just have to see if they can thrift any guns here. CSU going to back off of A here. Completely rotating over to B. Going to play aggressive on B. Aquanix found in a pretty bad position. Gets taken out by Wii U very, very early.
CSU is going to disrespect that USF hold, noting they're on eco. Just completely pushing in. Vel trying to come out with a right click. Does not find any hits here.
Yeah, Vel tried to focus on that plant, but it didn't work very well. Shooting
little bit
the
of spray coming out. USF is a little upset, potentially.
Yeah.
I mean, can you blame them? This has been decidedly close
Clean
match.
shots from Spider in mid here. Davy Gravy does get taken out, though. USF is in a 2v3, but they do have guns now. Gonna shoot out that utility.
They're going to take some space with this smoke and put a question mark on the map for CSU, make them a little more uncomfortable on this hold. And it works. Leon looking for that walkout from Viper.
Evens this up to a 2v2. Cage is going to swing it. Doesn't get it. Exquisitely does get that frag. They don't have time to defuse anymore. They're just going to run it down.
No
Taps
time
it.
looking for frags.
Too much time looking for those 1v1s. Exquisitely does get that headshot, putting this at 11-12. CSU getting this round.
All in all, not terrible for USF, getting enough frags potentially to be able to get full buys here. 3 ults online. I mean, this really could go either way. We could definitely see OT or we could definitely see a USF victory. I really think it's going to depend on how these teams decide to play this round. Whether CSU sort of opts for this disrespecting a B that they tried last round when USF was down econ, or if they try for a mid-split. I think that's really going to be the difference.
Yeah. Well, I think USF is definitely in a better position here. Now that they have guns, that hard save did do them some favors. Davy's going to try and get that early information here. Throwing a dog into A main, But Viper's way, way far back there, not really trying to push up, just kind of trying to lurk, trying to find out any flanks that might happen. CSU pushing into garage, but backing up a little bit, maybe potentially opting for that mid to heaven push once again. Or
They're
maybe
definitely
just a
little
full
nervous and
rotate.
just pushing without a ton of information here.
Yeah, for sure. Pushing into smokes at that, because you see the Astra Stars, you know they're going to get turned into smokes, or even a stun. It's not the best position to be in if you don't have that utility in the first place.
It's definitely tough for CSU not having a solely recon-oriented initiator, not being able to clear out these angles as comfortably as USF might be able to with their fade.
Yeah, CSU is going to opt for this A main push here. Moving slowly. Vel isn't going to full swing this because he's got that operator, but he does have the ultimate ready. Gets one out, is going to pop that ultimate. Gets that intel, sees 3. Probably going to have a teammate follow or at least spray in the general area with these pings.
It's going to be all spotted on site. USF is now keenly aware of where CSU is.
Jump scare, Aquanix gets that headshot though. Camino gets that onto Hade. Spider takes out NACE with the ultimate. Takes out another one on
Spider
site.
with the
Clean!
3K.
Clean
And that
3K.
is going to be USF's victory, winning this series. What
Yes.
a stellar close match. I was a little worried we weren't going to have a fight on our hands, but CSU really brought it back.
Yeah, absolutely. CSU did great in this game. Even when, things were a little bit tough for them in that first half, they did do a great comeback. They almost brought it to overtime. This was honestly amazing work. Great plays coming out from Vel and Spider here. And, it's just awesome stuff, honestly.
Absolutely, a very dominant game, as you can see here from both of our duelists, just really putting in the work on that map and sort of just, they're shooters. They're just shooting.
Yes, absolutely.
It's definitely the name of the game, an attack shooter.
Yes. Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
guns.
Gun game.
Gun game.
This was great gameplay. Always happy to see just great games, great players. Had a great time.
Absolutely.
Honestly.
I haven't had the pleasure of watching Cleveland play, but dude, I'd love to see him again. I would love to see a rematch between USF and Cleveland. That really could have gone either way on most of that.
Absolutely. Those were fantastic players and just great games altogether. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please follow. We do stream Valorant very often.
Yep. I've been Landon or Karmatic,
I'm Kawari.
and we are signing off. Go Bulls.
Thank you for watching.